tonight as we come to you from New York. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on DA. Take it away.
Kevin, thanks very much.
Much needed indeed, David. Thank you. Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. White and Levine team up in the backcourt. Porter and Markkanen, the duo at forward. And it's Carter in at the center. And for the Knicks. So for the Bulls, Young comes in for Markkanen, and Junior subbed in for White. Greg, obviously, we're early on here. We already have seen some second-year players looking much more improved over the rookie year.
I mean, if you put in the work, you're not guessing as much. And listen, the fact that you now gone through the season, you've got a better sense of who you are and what you can do out on the floor. I know I cut way back on my turnovers at the start of my second year, and you go into the offseason with specific goals and areas where you want to improve.
You think there's more growth between your first and second year than any other 2 years in your career?
And you could make that case, no doubt about it, because that's you're still thinking you could be one of the all-time greats no matter who you are at that stage, and so you tend to put in a little more emphasis in terms of improvement.
I love to see Junior in attack mode right now, driving into that lane.
A minute 42 left to play in the first quarter. Payton left side. No good. Shot missing. Good defensive work there by Young. There's Porter with the three. Buries the long-range jumper. 8 points for Otto Porter Jr. Knicks trailed by 5. Payton kicks to Burks. Porter against Barrett. And Barrett slams it in.
RJ is going to improve year after year on the skill to recognize plays and to stay a step ahead of the D.
Here's Junior. Robinson with the block. And he's able to get it back. Outside, Levine. Lays it up and banks it in. Levine's got his second bucket of the night.
In a natural score, Levine is content to try his luck from just about anywhere on the court.
Barrett with the ball. And it's Carter picking him up. Goes back up. Robinson misses.
A lot of defenders choose to just back up off of him when he's in that tight, try to avoid the and one, and this time they're not backing off.
And their offense already in a flow, some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
A different look for New York. Taj Gibson's checked in for Mitchell Robinson. Noel comes in for Randall. And it's Austin Rivers in for Elfrid Payton. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Daniel Gafford's checked in for Wendell Carter. Chandler Hutchison comes in for Thaddeus Young. Valentine's checked in for Otto Porter Jr. And Zedaransky subbed in for Zach LaVine. Barrett the pass to Rivers. Off target from three-point range. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Bulls lead by 8. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Recently, we had a chance to speak with R.J. Barrett about what...
I hate losing, but at the end of the day, it's part of the game.
And Barrett, a guy who's accustomed to winning, at least as an amateur grade.
I mean, he won a championship in high school, could have won one in his only year of college. He's going to be a driving force for the organization to get better.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And from what we've seen so far from the Bulls, what's your take?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
I couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
We've got Rivers. Noel is out there with R.J. Barrett. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Gibson in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 for New York right now.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat. It's
deflected. Here's goes Junior. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
And not backing down from the physical defense. Junior embraces taking on these challenges.
Toppin, he's checked in for Burks. Lauri Markkanen's checked in for the Bulls. Kobe White comes in for Satoransky.
The thing that really separates White is the quickness. Whether it's with the ball in his hands or running off screens, he's very difficult to stay connected to defensively.
And the pass to Barrett. And the foul called on Junior. That is his first foul of the game. And now another look at that mobile one-block defensive performance.
Emphatic with the rejection. You've got to appreciate that kind of forceful defense.
Now Barrett. Sensational block. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. Payton, he's checked in for the Knicks. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Shot clock at 2. And again, it's the Knicks missing. And last year, Greg, we saw White get more comfortable in the offense as the season went on.
You know, more scorer than a playmaker at this point. Drafted 7th overall because he has the potential to do both. If he can add strength and cut back on the turnovers, he's going to be a very good player for a long time.
Clearly a foul.
For Chicago, they have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
He's off on the first.
And Markkanen is a perfect candidate for that stretch 4. Outstanding at pulling the trigger from deep and not afraid to go inside and bang with the other bigs. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
At the elbow, Toppin. And Toppin throws it down.
You risk getting torched when somebody's open. Payton's skilled enough to find the open man.
To the paint. And Junior throws it down.
Simple. The pass, the slam, and that's a work of art from Junior.
And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for the Knicks. 15-point game. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Yeah, you saw the communication breakdowns defensively, just giving up way too many open looks.
Yeah, sometimes you can play good on-ball defense, but it's the help defense that makes you elite. And on that night, nobody rotating and not a lot of help.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed? He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for the Knicks. And that concludes the first half. Bulls out front. They're up by 9. And And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. He's making a switch here. Noel's checked in. Chicago also making some changes. Daniel Gafford's checked in for Wendell Carter. Denzel Valentine comes in for Porter. And Junior subbed in for Levine. There it finds Burks. Sweet little floater. Burks has got 9 points.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
Taking a look at the Bulls. Valentine and Markkanen, your small and power forwards. White is out there with Junior, and it's Gafford in at the center position. Pass to Junior. Barrett brings the double team. Just 5 to shoot. Shots good by Gafford. And the Bulls lead by 17.
And a nice spark for their offense here in the second half. Now above 50% for the game.
And the foul called on Junior. That's foul number 2 for him. A different look for New York. Taj Gibson's checked in for Mitchell Robinson. And it's Austin Rivers in for Elfrid Payton. The Bulls also changing it up. Young comes in for Markkanen. And Satoransky subbed in for Kobe White. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. The offensive rebound.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead. Playing with so much confidence. When Junior finds his rhythm, he is a lot of fun to watch.
Here's Rivers. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
That's excellent. Get the ball down deep inside and cash in on a simple basket.
Valentine. It's rebounded by Barrett. Barrett's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Burks. Can't cash in from close range. The Bulls leading by 17. Here's Junior. The shot's good on the assist by Satoransky. 19 points for Junior.
Crazy to think just how recently Junior took up basketball. We know he's a raw talent and was a football player back in high school. That's one reason why the upside is so high on him.
You know, Greg, you think of guys like Duncan and Embiid, the Dream. They all started playing basketball late as well, and Junior could follow their path. Toppin, he's checked in for Noel. That's good from Payton.
Well, we've seen indications of Payton and his all-around game, but we just would want to see the evolution of the shot come along, just more consistent from the outside. That's the next step.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Chicago.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Williams.
And guys, I just felt he was tremendous tonight. His energy infected his teammates, and the wrecking ball on both ends.
They've got Taj Gibson. Robinson is out there with Noel. Then it's Randall. And it's Payton in at the point. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks.
Junior getting aggressive in the paint there and gets his shot off even after getting fouled.
At the line for the Bulls, Nerlens Noel. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Well, one thing you know about Junior is while he's on the floor, he's going to play with his father in mind, who was a very good player. So Junior trying to honor his late father's legacy every time he laces him up.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. And the foul called on Junior. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Zach LaVine. 2 shots.
And that one misses.
And like so many recent top 10 picks, Kevin Knox was another one-and-done college player. Think about that challenge at 19 years old, coming into the league and also coming into New York City. It's a lot of pressure to get things done.
Stolen away. Here's Ntilikina. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they